What's happening, guys? Peter from Panda here. Boulder Supply Company. I just got a watch. This is not my watch. It's a borrowed watch. It's on tour. I will put some of the channels below that are also checking out this watch, so you can get their impressions on it too. But pretty excited to check it out. It's not the first Boulder I've had here on the channel, and I've really liked them. Boulder is the perfect word for this brand because everything from Boulder is like a lethal weapon. I mean, this is like chunky, heavy, super robust. I mean, I feel like it's going to survive end times. It's just, when you get this and try it out, if you don't like heavy watches, then go ahead and skip this video and check out Shinolas or my fan miss watches or something like that, because this thing is beefy. You can see here we have kind of a bit of a Panerai style buckle, a little more rounded edges, a little thinner, and more manageable in my opinion. Brushed stainless steel, and then we have a pretty robust 3 or 4 millimeter, 3 millimeter maybe, leather band, white side stitching, retention straps there. This is kind of very Panerai-ish as well. And then we have the Boulder watch itself, and this is where, boom, everything is coming together. This one is obviously their Odyssey lineup. I checked out an Odyssey earlier and really liked it. I just thought it's a ton of value. You know, it's got that industrial, almost steampunk look, if you like that. It's a true diver's watch, as you might be able to see there if we really get in on it. 500 meter water resistance. You can see helium escape valve printed on kind of that outer ring there, and then triple lock crown. You know, those are all things that you probably would kind of miss at a glance. And then you really have this kind of dark ring. It kind of reminds me of like a submarine or a diving bell or a helmet. You have kind of these lugs here, loom there, loom everywhere. You get loom, you get loom, you all get loom. So this thing is loomed up, which is awesome, even on the second hand here, which is really cool looking. It's got that straight square on it, and I like that it's got really broad hands, so everything's really bright. The pips are a little three-dimensional there, and then that's where we start getting to the dial, and as you can see there, it kind of looks like a piece of carbon. It actually kind of reminds me of carbon ceramic brake discs on really high-end sports cars, and you can kind of see a little crosshatch pattern, and that's because I believe the dial is a really thin slice of a meteorite. Now, I may be wrong about that. You know, the meteorite piece might be in other places, but this is why it's called the MeteoGray. So it's meteor, and then the dial here, the slice, is gray. There was a Meteo Black, which had like a black dial, and like I said, you know, it's not the first watch I've ever taken a look at with meteorite, yeah, remnants in it, but it's always been one of those really tough things to integrate in a watch because I believe meteorite fragments are really magnetic. So the only thing that survives is like the heavy metals, and then they get magnetized as they kind of go through the atmosphere, and so they can kind of wreak havoc with watches if you're not careful about it. But obviously they do a nice job with it, and because of that, I believe this watch isn't even on sale till next month, I believe that they have to be limited production. So in this case, the meteorite, I think, was found north of the Arctic Circle and was 4 billion years old, give or take a year. And so you just kind of get a lot of like, celestial, cosmological history in a watch, which is pretty cool. And I think the look is just sick. You know, it's really cool. It almost looks like concrete to me, kind of feels like that. Meteorite pieces, because they're like reduced metal, are really heavy as well. But man, this just looks awesome. Look at the kind of the sharp edges of the lines. You know, it's like stealth bomber to me. You know, brushed edges there. Got a little bit of polishing, a little bit of highlight in some of these areas. I love the two-tone, kind of this darker, like almost ion plated, like anodized look here, and a little lighter there. There's your helium valve, and just kind of some straight like F-117 Nighthawk edges. Really cool. Even the crown is really cool. I just love how that looks, kind of split down the middle there. It just kind of takes, you know, the watch design and you know, kind of takes it to a real industrial level. I really like that. And they've got the Boulder logo right there as well. And then on the back we have no exhibition case back, but really cool etching, as you can see there. That looks like you know, the starry night sky that you would see. And what we have here, in this case, it says the NH35 automatic movement. I don't know if that's the production movement. I know that it may be. But because it's not for sale quite yet, I'm not sure if they were using like one of the ETA 2024 equivalent movements, but the NH35 movement, if that's the case, is certainly a fantastic movement. And sapphire, double dome sapphire, you can see how thick it is there, or at least what you can see of it is on there. It's just a big thick piece of crystal. And let's just go ahead and unscrew this triple locking lug or crown there. Date window down at the 24 or the 6 o'clock position that says 24. I can feel in hand winding right there. If I pull it out one more stop, now we will get, let's see what we get. Counterclockwise is date setting. And if I pull it out one more time, hacking seconds, and I can set the time. And you can see there, even looks like the BOLDR logo itself is luminous. So pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. I will say, like I said, you know, for BOLDR watches, you know, they just make really cool stuff, and it's kind of my speed of stuff. Like, I'll be honest, I like big, chunky. I know you guys have given me a little bit of heck for that. You know, big, brash watches. You know, I don't like wearing them all the time, but you know, when I do want something that's a little bit unique, a little bit standoutish, man, you know, you almost need something kind of really in your face to stand out in the watch world in a lot of ways. And this is one of those that'll deliver. This will definitely deliver. So really, really cool. If you like diving and you want to watch that you don't have to worry about, you know, being able to resist water or take a hit against coral or rock or something like that, I think this is the watch for you. So let me just take off my Apple Watch here. Just go ahead and throw this little bad boy on. I want to say it's 45.5 millimeters wide, and so it's like a sweet spot watch in my opinion. You know, personally, I find that size really, really wearable and usable. And on my wrist here, I guess I'm just a really strong guy, but it doesn't feel like abnormally heavy. It is a big, solid, dense watch, and you can feel the weight of it, but obviously, you know, when you're as ripped as I am, it just doesn't, it's just not going to impede you in any way. And again, you know, even though the lugs and everything are really straight, it does hug my wrist here pretty nicely. I've got about a 7-inch wrist, and, you know, it just feels super comfortable. Man, that's cool looking. Yeah, dude. I dig it. So anyway, BOLDR, keep up the good work. If you want this style, you can always pick up a BOLDR Odyssey watch. They look just like this, but if you want something really special, you can get it with the Meteorite. Like I said, MeteorGray here, because I think the other Meteor editions that they've had have all sold out. Now, I will say here, despite the rarity of Meteorite, this watch to me is also a really good value. So it's basically $599 for the previous one. So I don't know where this price point's going to fall, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's exactly that too. Now, I will say that the Meteorite ones before have been limited to 100 pieces, and so if you do want one, you're thinking about it, you should jump on it, because good value and kind of a very limited run potentially. But I will leave it up to BOLDR to kind of make the final call on that. So follow them. I'll put a link to everything in the description, including the other channels that you might want to watch with other good watch dudes. Peter Von Panda out.